Hello again, everybody. It is Friday, the 26th of August, 2022. We've talked a lot about Gann. We covered octaves the last week and a half, just trying to bring a little bit of other information into this. I'm giving you guys some good tips here the last couple weeks. I'm going to point something out today. Somebody that we haven't talked about yet on these videos who's every bit as important as Gann as far as contributions to the world of market analysis is George Bayer. George has a series of books. I think he wrote 7 books, and each one of his books has some good information in it, though, like Gann, it is not on the surface. You have to dig for it, learn how to read into the way that he writes to be able to understand what he's trying to show you under the surface. So the particular point I'm going to illustrate today is in the George Woolston book, The Expert Grain Trader. George has a chapter on the squaring of the circle, a concept that you probably all heard about. This was an ancient challenge of how to draw a circle and a square of equal area with the least amount of lines. So what I'm going to do here is this is the illustration that George gave in the book. You can easily find this book, probably this PDF, free on the internet. You can go through and read this chapter. But here's how George shows how to do that. And when you figure out what numbers are important, where the square and the circle come together, you're going to be able to use that for price and time prediction. Now I'm going to go to Gann Grids Ultra and take a look at a cotton chart. So what we found in the squaring of the circle is you get a set of numbers that are very harmonic. I've run these numbers on various markets and they work exceptionally well. So remember, you can always float the decimal. Numbers are numbers no matter where the decimal is placed. So you can fit the numbers to your chart in any price range or any price scale. You can use these numbers for price and for time measurements. You can also use these numbers as zodiac degrees and use planets when they hit those degrees, and those are going to cause turning points or change in trend. And remember, our definition of change in trend is pivot point, acceleration, or a drop of volatility. So on this particular chart, I've got 4 of the price levels marked with the highlight tool. This particular program has a nice highlight tool. You can dump a list of prices in, hit a button, and it highlights those levels on a chart. And then you can save that group of prices and bring it back to any chart. So you can make a master list and then drop it onto a chart. So just looking at the price level alone, you can see how the price acted as it approaches these levels. So right now we're pretty much concerned with this yellow line at this level. You can see we got resistance here, became kind of a gravity center here, couldn't break through, broke through here for a short while, then retest, became support, and then finally took off and went to the next level where it immediately bounced back and came to the prior level. Now, everybody wants, to know how to do price calculations and how to find these price points that are going to turn the market. But remember, it's always more important where price and time come together. So let's say in this particular example, I'm going to use some planets that are hitting some of these degree points in the zodiac. So what I do then, I pull out the ephemeris tool from Gann Grids Ultra. I plug in the date range that I want. I'm looking at heliocentric here, 1 day increments. I hit the generate, and it gives me the longitude of all the planets at that particular point in time. Then I can export that to an Excel file. It dumps that into an Excel file, and then I can pull the longitudes from there. So what I've done, along with the price lines, I've plotted uh, the planets hitting these degrees at certain points in time. Now, I didn't list all of them. I was just putting in the ones that were near this particular price level to see how they would respond. So you can see here on the left, I've got these three bodies, the Moon, Jupiter, and Mercury. You can see why we're in this little triangle pattern here. And with this planetary activity so close, what it's doing is bouncing us around. But then when we get to the Mercury, we break the triangle on an increase in volatility. So we get a triangle breakout trade. And where does it go? Immediately to the nearest price level. So there's very simply, you've got the trigger, you're breaking the triangle, and you know initially you know where your first target is and where it's going to go. So what happens, you break through, you open on a gap here above that price level, and now you're looking for that, is that price level going to hold? Well, after that day, the market trades down and closes below the level, so immediately you move your stop to that level because it couldn't hold. So it's most likely going to reverse. So what you've got there, you've got a nice 3-day trade worth quite a bit in the cotton market with the leverage. And then you just wait for the next opportunity. So now you can see that we got resistance there, resistance there. The market traded between these two levels. Here's a hint. You can also use the ratios to create an octave between these levels. I'm not going to show that here, but that can be done. Now the next 2 points, we've got Venus here at 153. 153 is an important number. It shows up in a lot of different places. You can find that on your own. This is the amount of fish that were caught in the net with Jesus and the disciples when they were fishing on the Sea of Galilee. Anyhow, we get price and time together. You always want to get price and time together because you're going to get a more reliable outcome on your trade. So we've got price and time here. We've got Venus at 153, and we get a couple days up. It comes back, and we come back and retest that low, and may get stopped out there. But then we get another trigger point right here on the next Venus critical degree. And what happens with that one, now you've got price and time again, and that gets you a nice run up to the next level over a period of a couple months. What happens after that, the market comes, trades right back down to that price level, makes a move up. The first reaction is pushed back by Mars. So Mars hits one of these critical degrees, gives you a short trigger. And what are you going to do here? You're going to be watching this level where these 3 points are made, these 3 lows. So right here, you're going to be running your stop down to see if this price level is going to hold or if it's going to break. If it breaks, you can then just follow it down. So what happens, we break here. Look at the increase in volatility and the acceleration. We get a strong, fast move after we break this price level and this support level of the price bars. We get a sharp move down and go halfway through this range before we hit the next support level. See where my cursor is? That's just about halfway down. We're at the 50% level of this price range between these 2 yellow lines. So a very important principle. I've given you enough information to figure this out. If you figure this one out, you have a terrific tool set of numbers. Let me make one more point. This is really important. A lot of speculation has been that Gann had master number sets. Well, this is one of them. Gann and Bayer knew the same things. When you put together a couple of these master number sets, you can control your own destiny in the markets. Now that's all I'm going to put out here, but I gave you the source. Do a little bit of digging, see if you can figure this out.